From High Moon Studios. You know, the guy you kept calling dickhead when you cornered me in the parking lot the other night? Anyway, looked over your proposal. Not gonna pretend I understand any of it, but the answer is no. We're gonna pass on your big game idea.
What? He said no? That was our chance to be in our own video game.
Maybe we shouldn't have written the proposal in crayon. Maybe we should get the door...
Developed by High Noon Studios in 2013, comes the first and only game where Wade Wilson, better known as Deadpool, is in the starring role. My experience with the game started when I worked at Walmart. I would work the electronics counter from time to time. My coworkers were comic nerds and hyped it up. When I went to pick up a copy, of course, we no longer sold it. A few years later, before the first movie was set to release in theaters, the game came out again on PS4. I knew better by this point, I'd better buy a copy. This was my introduction to the Deadpool character, aside from all the Walmartians who seemingly flooded the store wearing Deadpool hoodies and PJs. You know the type.
Who cares? I'm making art here. Behold!
Not sure the player understands our thinking yet.
Hey, player, just go with it. We're about to change your fucking life.
Bring the noise!
As a fan of Deadpool, I've played this game to completion a couple times. I sold it many years ago, not knowing it would not be widely available, thanks in no small part to the amount of times Activision seemingly picked up and lost the license. This made the digital game difficult to purchase, driving up the price. Not to mention, every time a new movie came out, that drove up the price even further. Needless to say, I'll probably never own the PS4 version ever again. But that's okay. You see, I have the Xbox 360 port, which looks quite similar graphically, and it's the same game besides the DLC being available on the PS4 disc, and the Xbox 360 game is much cheaper, so no harm, no foul.
I think I need to make an entrance. Time to go boom. Phew! That's what happens when you mix C4 with a bean burrito. Now be honest. I'm not the only one with a little bit of shit in their pants right now, am I?
I remember the Deadpool game getting ripped apart by critics upon its release. To be honest, I never fully understood why. I mean, it's a hack and slash with some third-person shooter elements sprinkled in for good measure, which sounds pretty innovative for the time if you ask me. But the sticking point for some was its repetitive nature. Let me ask you a question. Which hack and slash or beat 'em ups are not repetitive? Anyone? That's just the nature of the genre. Thankfully, where Deadpool differs from your standard run-of-the-mill action games lies in its combat and its presentation.
That'd be media mogul Chance White. Has ties to the mob, owns a private army, makes babies cry. Your classic easy-to-hate villain.
What are we doing again?
Elevators. Are you even paying attention?
Of course I am. Making sure you were.
Alert! We are locking elevator access now. Troops should give me that. Listen, you little masked moron. Nobody comes into my house like this. I hope it was worth it.
An action game somewhat similar to this one, I'll just button mash my way to get through without much skill or thought. This is one of the first games where I actually felt compelled to look up the combos. The combat is fluid and diverse. You can unlock some really cool weapons, upgrades, and additional moves. Some help you take out a large group of bad guys, and it feels satisfying watching all the blood and body parts go flying everywhere. Others are just really fun to watch. Instead of dodging, Deadpool teleports to evade attacks, which I think is pretty cool. By doing so, he cannot be hit for that brief amount of time. It really helps when you're low on health. Deadpool is easy to control and the combat is seamless. Deadpool is mechanically top-notch.
This is my jam!
You can't sing.
Crazy. I'm crazy for feeling so lonely.
See? He's like an angel.
I'm crazy I'm crazy for... This must be my stop.
Then you have the presentation. Where do I begin? Nolan North does the voice of Deadpool, and it feels like he was put on the earth solely to voice this character. Like it was his calling, because he knocks all of his lines out of the park.
Nolan! Hey, what's up, buddy? We're making a game about me. Gotta have you do the VO, man. I mean, see, here's the thing. People tell me we sound alike.
That sounds awesome, Deadpool. Listen, I had a different take on it. Maybe we just make you, maybe it's an alternative type of Deadpool. It's somebody that's like, forget the boobs. Let's just go for pecs. Pecs and biceps. Forget girls. Why don't you just contact my agent for the booking, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, well, fuck you, Nolan.
At the beginning of the game, you're in Deadpool's rundown apartment. You can use the phone to call Nolan North to inquire about him voicing Deadpool, because he decides he wants to make a video game about himself inside the video game he's already in. Let me reiterate, the guy who voices Deadpool calls himself to convince himself to do voice lines in a game that's in the game he's already in. If that isn't absolutely shattering the fourth wall, I would need to take a course where they show the theorem proving otherwise.
Send reinforcements to the rooftop to find him.
Fly or die, asshole. Your choice.
Gonna need both hands to shoot that minigun.
Says who? I do stuff with one hand all the time. Hey, get to the right, my newly acquired pilot. I got some ammo to spend. So juicy!
The story is pretty good too. Deadpool reaches out to High Noon Studios, the developers who made the game. After initially getting rejected, let's just say he finds an explosive way to persuade High Noon to reconsider.
Relax. You know he's gonna call back.
Oh, yeah, because of the...
Deadpool! Hey, it's Peter. Dickhead. Remember when I called you earlier and told you no? I'm such a joker, because I meant yes, of course. The new proposal you sent over this morning went off with a big bang in the office today. Genius. Just genius. So, sum it up, congratulations. Let's make a video game.
See? Once again, our explosive personality wins the day.
High five!
No high fives, we're voices in our head.
Now with the green light and the funding he needs, what does he do? He blows the entire budget in the first level. Immediately after doing so, the CEO of High Noon Studios calls to chew Deadpool out right before he's forced to play an 8-bit section because, again, he blew the budget.
I warned you about the budget, Deadpool. You literally blew all the money.
Budget? What the hell, man?
Yes, you do realize that all games have budgets.
Peter, sweetheart, Bubula, let me remind you that my website got 15 million hits the weekend we announced. 1,000,001? 1,000,002? Cough it up.
He forges ahead with his script, where he must kill a media mogul being protected by Mr. Sinister and his D-list villains, encountering some X-Men along the way. This is where the game is at its funniest. His interactions with Cable, and Wolverine in particular, are a laugh riot. I can't recall a game that's made me laugh out loud as often as this one does.
Oh, Wolby, time to wake up. Rise and shine, Stubby. Wake up. Up and at 'em. Fine, then. That's for all the clown jokes. That's for never calling just to say hi. That's because I get aroused when I slap people. That's for all the furry midgets in the world. That's because I feel like it. Why? Won't you wake up? Wake up! That's because the player keeps mashing the button. That's because I like slapping fleshy things with this hand. That's for being in more comics than me. That's for making me love you. I guess he's not waking up.
After playing the first few levels, the game leaves you wanting more. About halfway through the game, however, the story slows down a little and the repetitious gameplay I previously mentioned rears its head. Again, it's something any beat-em-up or hack and slash will encounter. The fact that combat is so satisfying is enough for me to make it through the mid-game stretch, but the comedy makes sure to make everything feel fresh, even when the combat starts to feel somewhat samey. There are hidden collectibles, great scenes, and boss fights to keep the gameplay fresh if the comedy isn't quite your speed. If the game starts to feel a little repetitive, what I recommend is taking a break. I didn't feel like I had to do that because there was always something around the corner that made me feel engaged. For me, I saw where critics had problems, but I blasted through levels, enjoying it the entire way through.
Wade, I need you to listen closely. I've time traveled from the future to bring you a dire warning about...
Oh god, here he goes again. He's not here 10 seconds before he starts boring us with his dire warning from the future crap.
Sinister has knocked out the X-Men by broadcasting...
We may want to pay attention. This could explain a critical plot point.
The survival of Earth entirely depends on... which all hinges on you, Wade. Now here's the critical part.
It's so boring.
Make it stop!
Damn it, Wade!
Although I'm a fan who reads the comics, the game is not just a great Deadpool game, it's a damn good action game for anyone who likes chaos and comedy blended together with unlockables that feel satisfying to unlock, character interactions that kept me wanting more, and a story so off its hinges it quite literally made me a fan of the regenerating degenerate. There are also ports for the PC, Xbox One, PS3, and PS4. If you happen to get your hands on the PS4 version, I truly envy you. But I can honestly say any version is worth the price of admission.